to Live Wellness. My name is Emma. I'm your Pilates instructor and we are on week 3 of our beginner series. Now today we're going to be adding a little bit more endurance as we work. We're going to be working through the core, those deep muscles we've spoken about. We're going to be working into our deep glute muscles and having a little look at posture as well. But we're going to work for a little bit longer in each muscle group today so we can really begin to feel that endurance as we move. Now, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Honestly, it helps us so much that we can continue to be here for you guys every week. We're gonna start laying on the mat today. So let's come down onto our backs. I want you to have your feet planted into the ground and I want you to have your hands by your side. Now, if it helps here for a second, just shut the eyes down. We wanna just feel our pelvis now. Now, our pelvis is really heavy into the mat. It's sinking down. We're allowing our neck to be nice and long and lengthen. Our shoulder blades melt into the mat. We're going to take a really big inhale here, allowing the ribs to expand. And as you exhale, just sink into the mat a little bit deeper. Now I want you to tilt your pelvis away from you, arching your lower back. And then I want you to tilt your pelvis towards you, flattening your lower back. Now as you do this, we're going to inhale as we arch away and exhale as you flatten the back. Now we're trying to get a little bit of mobility into that lumbar spine, so that when we move through our bridges, we can really feel the back releasing, allowing the glutes to take over. So really focus mobility here. Focus on loosening off those muscles. Let's take 2 more of these pelvic tilts. Good. Now on your next one, as you begin to flatten your back down, I want you to continue then to lift the hips gently off the mat. Allow them to come all the way up to the ceiling as we roll up through our spine. At the top of the movement, you're going to really just activate those glutes gently. Pause for a second. Then we're going to reverse that movement, lowering each vertebrae individually back down, massaging out the spine. Once you get to the bottom, we're going to inhale as we tilt the pelvis away from us. Now exhale as we tilt it towards us and roll slowly up through the back. Place your weight down through your heels. Squeeze those glutes gently at the top. We pause for a second here. I want you to inhale at the top and then exhale to roll back down. Again, we're still focusing mobility. We're focusing length. Those of you who find that you sit at your desk all day, this is such a lovely movement to really find that full release in the spine. Let's take 2 more like this. Allow the space between each vertebrae to be known. Acknowledge it. Allow it to just lengthen the spine, to grow the spine. We take 1 more. Now on that next one, I want you to keep your hips up in a bridge. Now just check in your bridge here. We're not arching into that lower back, flaring out the ribs. We're actually drawing the ribs towards each other. We're allowing the spine to stay neutral. The glute squeeze, the core is active. From here, you're going to tap your hips straight down, touch the mat, and then lift the hips straight back up. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale as you lift up. Now, as we begin to build a little bit more endurance into the body today, I really want you to focus in on that breath a little bit more. So really allow each inhale and each exhale to lead the movement, to guide the movement. Allow the correct muscles to activate and allow parts of the body that aren't being used really release here. So we exhale, lift up, make sure the glutes are initiating the movement now. Now your hands are down on the mat. We're gently pressing into the mat to support our spine. Remember, during this beginner series, we are taking it back to basics. And I want you to really allow yourself to understand these maybe more simple movements, but really learn what muscles are activating, how the breath works to guide these movements. We're going to take 2 more bridges just like this, and then we are going to build. So on your next one, keep your hips up in that bridge. Now from here, I want you to just shift your weight onto the ball of the foot. We're going to lift our heels up off the mat. We're going to take a calf raise here. Then you're rolling back down through your foot, lowering your hips back down to the mat. So we lift the hips up, then we float the heels up. Lower the heels, lower the hips. Breathe out to lift up. Breathe in to lower down. Really enjoying that pace led by the breath, but enjoying maybe a little bit of a shake or a little bit of instability as you lift the heels up. Allow those ankles to articulate, to strengthen the calves. We take 3 more like this. Remember, the glutes still initiate every single bridge. You need to squeeze and activate them before you begin to move. On that next one, we're going to stay up in our bridge for a little bit longer. Allow the heels to lift. Pause there. We're on the ball of the foot. We're just going to take pulses now. So squeeze deeper into those glutes. Allow your shoulder blades to continue to sink into the mat. The neck stays long. We breathe with those pulses for 4, 3, 2, on 1, you're going to lower your heels. We're going to take that roll down through the spine. Each vertebrae is sitting separately. Good. From here, I want you to open the feet wide and just gently drop your knees side to side. Release that lower back. Beautiful work. Now from here, we're going to place the feet back into the mat. We're going to bring our arms, or our hands rather, behind our head. Allow the head and neck to release into the hands. Now, I want you to just feel where your pelvis is sitting on the mat now. So your elbows are wide, your neck is long, your head is released. Now checking in with that pelvis. We're not flattening, we're not arching that lower back. We're just allowing the hips to be level and the pelvis to be heavy into the mat. Now I want you to keep your lower back as it is. We're going to start by initiating from the lower belly. You're going to begin to activate the core as you gently come up into a crunch. Look to your belly, check you have not moved that lower back. Then release back down. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to lower down. I like to imagine that we're drawing up a zipper here. So we're really starting from that lower part of the zip. As you take that crunch, just like you're zipping up a pair of jeans, we pull that zip up into the upper abs. Then we release and undo the zip as we roll back down. So that's where you're starting, from the lower part of the zip, bringing it into that upper part, then releasing down. Now each time you take that crunch up, just pause for a second. Make sure you are not flattening your lower back. Then release down. Make sure you are not arching your lower back. We want to keep it in that point in between an arch or a flatten each time. Your exhale should allow you to come up and squeeze into those deep abs. The inhale should allow you to release. Beautiful. Just 2 more like this. As I said, we're working endurance today, so we're going to continue to add layers to the movement. On our next crunch, we pause at the top. Now from here, I want you to grab behind your thighs. Now you're going to pull yourself a little bit higher up. We bring it right into those upper abs now. You're going to pause here as you replace your hands behind your head. Then you're going to release all the way back down. Make sure your head is fully released. So we exhale to curl up and grab behind those thighs. Inhale to replace the hands and lower down. Let's continue to move through this. really allowing the breath again to guide the pace that you are moving. We're not rushing, we're working slow, we're working with intention. Now, really important to be working into those deep core muscles. They are the ones that stabilize our pelvis, our spine, allowing us to have good posture, allowing our hips to be open so that we can move with ease. They support the whole body here with really everyday functional movements. I'm not talking aesthetic abs. I'm talking those ones that really do help protect the organs, protect the muscles, protect the bones. It's so important to make sure that they are working before we begin to train any sort of outer or aesthetic abs. Let's take 2 more here. I really like to think we want to train to feel better, not look better. And often the looks just come with it, but we really want to train to feel so strong in our everyday life. On that next one, we're going to release the head. Keep your hands behind the head though. From here, we're going to come back up for a crunch, but this time I want you to rotate the torso towards your left knee. That left knee is going to come into tabletop. We twist across the body. We release down. We're going to alternate sides. Crunch up, release down. We begin to work our obliques. We spoke about this last week. They are the abs that run down either side of the body. They control our movements side to side, up and down, laterally, twisting. Really good again for function. Now, as you take that crunch across the leg, I want you to really feel the waist tightening up. Use your exhale to come up, your inhale to come down. So we use that same breath pattern as we move. Now your elbows should be just wide enough that you can just about see them in your peripheral vision. And then that twist comes from the whole torso. We really rotate towards that knee. Let's take 4 more here. We go for 3, 2. On your next one, you're going to allow your feet to plant back into the mat. Release your head. We're going to bring our hands back down by our side. Now again, I want you to imagine that nice lengthened spine. Check your neutral spine here. Check your pelvis. The hips are level. You should have a tiny little gap between your lower back and the mat. We want to keep that gap there. Draw the ribs in towards each other. Gently press your hands into the mat. Float your feet up into tabletop now. Knees over hips, shins parallel with the mat. Without moving your spine, you're tapping your right toes down, touch the mat, draw them back in. Alternating sides, tap down, lift up. Exhale, tap. Inhale to lift. We continue to build our endurance of the core, of our transverse abdominals, our pelvic floor. Again, we start from that lower belly. As you draw that leg in, zip up your jeans, squeeze into that lower part. Now just check in with the rest of the body here as well. Make sure we're not holding too much tension into that upper body. We're allowing the shoulder blades to sink, the hands to release by our side. The neck stays lengthened. Just 4 more here. We go for 3, 2. On that last one, I want you to keep the legs in tabletop. Pause. You're going to tilt your head to your chest, curl up into a crunch, float the arms up off the mat. We're going straight into our hundreds little pulses through the arms. Option here to just drop 1 foot down, take a few pulses and then switch. If it is too much with both legs up, so you have that option here to go single leg for a few pulses, switching it up, or to have both legs in that tabletop. We're breathing in for 5 pulses, Breathing out for 5, really percussive here. Keep that neck lengthened. If you're feeling too much pressure in your neck, just simply bring one hand behind the head. Hold it in place for a few pulses and then switch arms. So again, you've got the option there to support the head and neck. Otherwise, we're using that breath to really activate those deep core muscles. In for 5 pulses, out for 5. Really percussive with the breath, really strong in the body. Look to your belly button. Allow everything to feel easy as you work here. The breath guides you always. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we release knees to chest. Give them a hug, just gently drop side to side. We are done working the core. We're going to work into some side lying now and just begin to activate into those glutes. So I want everyone to lie on their left arm today to start. Your knees are going to be bent. Now I want the knees at the front of the mat. Hips are in line with your heels towards the back of the mat, and that left arm is released down. You have an option here. You can grab a pillow and place it under your head if that feels more comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can also prop your head up by holding onto it. I prefer to just have it fully released down. Now in this position, you're going to grab onto your top hip. Press it away from you, activating through the belly. So you're really strong in that core. From here, we're going to simply take it into a clam to start. So I want you to keep those hips level, keep them stacked, keep them still, and then begin by activating into that right abductor, the right glute, to open your knee up. Exhale each time you open, inhale each time you close. I want you to feel a little bit of space between your side body and the mat. If you lose that space, it means we are collapsing through the ribs. I want you to continue to send that top hip away. Continue to squeeze in that belly so we're always in our neutral spine. Good. Now we're going to take 3 more normal clams like this, and then again we are going to build. So after that 3rd one, I want you to then float your feet up off the mat and then go back to those clams. So we're again squeezing into that top hip to open the knee, allowing the knee to open up without moving those hips. So once again, they are stacked on top of each other. We are really active into our torso, into our core. By lifting the feet up, we're just getting a slightly bigger range here. We're allowing the knee to move through a bigger range to really work even deeper into those abductors. We take 3 more like this. Now on your next one, I want you to float the feet back down, lift that top leg up, just the top leg, it stays bent. You're going to tuck your knee all the way into your chest. Then you're going to send that top leg out nice and long so it's in line with the body. Inhale, tuck in, activate through those abs. Exhale to lengthen here. Now remember, as we lengthen that leg, focus on stretching from the top of the hip down. Really allow it to go all the way to the bottom of the mat. We lengthen the muscles, we lengthen all of those ligaments, all of that fascia around the bones. Let's really focus on growing longer in those muscles. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, extend. Beautiful. We have 2 more here. On your next one, that leg is going to stay long. Now I want you to just check it's directly in line with your body. Check your hips are still stacked and your abs are still on. You're tapping that top leg down to the mat, keeping it lengthened. We lift it back up. Tap it all the way down. As you lift it up, we want to get it as high as you can control it. What I mean by that is we're not kicking the leg up. I want you to actually place your hand on your top glute. Feel that glute activating to send the leg up rather than momentum taking over. Inhale down, exhale up. Beautiful. Two more like this. Now we're going to hold that leg up. It's lengthened, it's long. From here, I want you to just flex and point through that ankle. Continue to send that leg long. Focus on that articulation through the foot. The leg is just above hip height here. Yes, now next time we point, pause. You're going to draw little micro circles now. So now we're beginning to circle the entire leg in that hip socket joint. It's really oiling it out. It's moving around, not just the ankle, the entire leg. Let's take those circles in the other direction. Good. From there, we're going to go back to that flex of the foot. You're going to pulse it here just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it slowly down. Good. You can tap the hip if you need. Just allow that release. Before we do our second side, we're actually going to roll over onto our front here. Now I want you to just bring the legs slightly wider so they're sort of towards either corner of the mat. You're going to have the toes untucked. Now with your pelvis, I want you to tuck it under. Gently activate the glutes. Bring your hands into a cactus on either side of your mat. Your head release down. From here, we're going to really gently float our head and arms off the mat just to hover and then release back down. So just the head and arms come up to hover. We're not moving the legs, we're allowing the pelvis to tuck under. We're continuing to squeeze those glutes, supporting the lumbar spine. Now as we work here, we're thinking upper back, thoracic spine, postural muscles. Really important to work through this rear chain to make sure that we are actually supporting that posture. We're supporting the bones that structure our posture. A lot of you sit down all day looking at your desk, looking at your computer. We're so rounded through our front. So now I want you to think of opening up through that back chain. Let's take 3 more like this, then we're going to build on. Exhale to come up. Inhale down. On that next one, we pause, we hold. From here, you're going to extend both arms over your head, so reach them to the front of your mat. Then bend the elbows, draw them back into the side of the body. We reach forward, we stay in this hover. Bend back. Notice I'm not arching that lower back. I'm not up super high. I'm looking down to my mat. I'm just about an inch off the mat. So really, I am just hovering here. Bring that breath back into it. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, bend the arms. 2 more here. On that next one, you're going to keep the arms bent, pause. Little pulses now up through that upper spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's press through child's pose for a second here. Allow your hips to drop to your heels, reach the arms forwards, release your head. So we've worked through our core. We've had a little look at our posture and opening up through that thoracic spine. We've worked into those glutes. We're going to take it into our second side on those glutes to finish now. And then we'll also finish with a little stretch. So coming onto your right arm this time. Now, however you had your head before, let's mimic here on this side. Knees at the front, hips and heels at the back. Grab that top hip, press it away from you. Feel that space created between your side body and the mat. From here, we go straight into that first clam. Feet stay down. We exhale to lift up. Inhale to lower back down. As we move through this last side here, really focus on the breath. So listen to me, let me help you guide you through that breath so that you can begin to feel the release through the parts of the body we're not working. And then you're also going to feel that engagement into the part of the body we are working. Exhale as you squeeze that glute, lift the knee up. Inhale to reverse back down. On your next one, we're going to float the feet up off the mat. We're going back into that clam. Exhale up, inhale down. Now feel that connection with the core. As you lift your knee up, you activate that left glute. You're also squeezing deeper into the belly. Then we release down with our inhale. Beautiful and controlled here. Allow yourself to feel really strong, really in control of your body. 3 more. Good. Let's place the feet down, float that top leg up. We tuck it into the chest with our inhale. We extend and lengthen with that exhale. As you exhale and extend, feel the belly switching on to support the pelvis. Pilates can feel really slow. And you know, sometimes you might think, oh, this seems so easy, but if you really intentionally think about what muscles you're working, how the breath can help you, how stable you feel, it actually becomes really hard in a good way. We want to feel that hardness from the inside out. We want to really allow ourselves to feel so strong as we move. So don't get lazy with it. Be really intentional with it. Allow yourself to really dive into the breath to help you, to understand what muscles are working, where you should be feeling it. Make sure your form is good here. Let's take 2 more. Inhale, tuck. Exhale to extend. So remember that pelvic floor is on the whole time. We're going to stay in that lengthened position. You're tapping your foot straight down to the mat and then floating it back up. Inhale to tap down. Exhale to lift up. Check here that you're not allowing the hips to rock around too much. Again, we're still strong through the core. We're still supporting that side body. We're supporting our neutral spine. Then you're allowing that deep squeeze into the glute to float the leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. Let's take 2 more. On that next one, we're keeping our leg lifted here. Now we just flex and point. We find that articulation through the ankle as we hold that leg up, squeezing our glute. Now right now, almost the entire body is working here. Rather than thinking of squeezing everything, let's use that breath to release certain parts and activate others. Next time that foot is pointed, we hold. Let's take little circles here. Now we want to think of activating that lower part, that left glute, and releasing through the head and neck. Other direction with those circles. Just let that breath flow freely now. On that next one, we're going to flex the foot. We're going to pulse it here. Little pulses just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Tap out that side if you need. I want you to come up to sitting. We're going to extend our legs out long. From here, I want you to grab your right leg first. You're going to lift it and place it across that left one. Plant the right foot into the mat. Now sit really tall. Think posture here. We've got our string on the crown of our head pulling us up. Now I want you to really just twist that string. Allow yourself to rotate to that right leg. Hug it into your body. Continue to rotate around, look to the back of your mat. We're staying in that lovely tall posture. We're looking all the way back. We're squeezing that glute. We're allowing it to stretch. Hug your knee in. Try to rotate your full torso here. Breathe into the stretch. Big inhale, long exhale. Beautiful. Let's release. There we go for our second side. Left foot plants on, stand it into that mat. Plant the sit bones down, restack your spine, we're tall. We're hugging our left knee in. We're rotating to the back of the mat. Really bring your chest forwards, look backwards here. Allow your spine to twist. Let's take one more breath like this. Big inhale, restack. Exhale, twist a little bit further. And then come out of that really gently there. Now just find either a seated position or maybe kneeling, whatever's comfortable for you. I want you to inhale with me, bringing your arms up to the ceiling. Gather in all of that oxygen. Now as you exhale, we drop the arms down, we allow them to release. We restack our spine. And I want you to just feel really strong here. We've worked the core, we've worked the posture, we've worked the glutes, the powerhouses of ease in the body, of control as we move. Thank you for joining me for week 3. I hope you're starting to feeling a bit more endurance here through the core, the glutes, the posture, and just allowing your body to sort of move with that slight bit more of ease as well. But thank you for joining me. I'll see you back for week 4. And again, just please like and subscribe and comment in that, just so we can continue to give you these workouts. Thank you.